Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are looking at how to cut a suit, or we call it blazer. So this is the pattern. So I will show you how you cut the bodies out. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so that when new video comes out you'll be notified. So what you are going to do here is, at this horizontal part, you mark 2 inches here. You mark 2 inches at this side. So you roll it. So these 2 inches, you mark it, and you mark 2 inches at this part as well. So you connect the 2 lines together. So you take the measurement, the length of the suit. So I will show you the measurement I'm using. So make sure your measurement starts from 1 inches. So you can as well rule 1 inches at the outside. Let me mark it 1 inches here. So your length measurement will start from this 1 inches. So we are using 28 for the length of the suit. We are using 28 for the length. So you mark 28. So you add 1.5 inches to it, to the length. You add 1.5 inches. So you do a straight line here, and you do a straight line here as well. The back of the suit is 15 inches. So we are using 15 inches for the back of the suit. So 15 divided by 2 will give us 7.5. So 7.5, what you do is just add quarter to it. So 7.5 plus quarter. So that is what you wrote down. So the back of your suit, the back of your client divided by 2, you add quarter to it. So you roll it down, you mark it down, then you connect the lines together. Okay, at this part you mark 2.5 for the neck of your client. So for adults, make sure it's above 2.5, depending on the neck of your client. So you can use your free hand to connect this one. Then you connect your shoulder slants together. Connect your shoulder slants. So this is what you get. Armhole depth, you use 7 inches for the armhole depth. So mark 7 here. So what you do is just make sure it's half inches. Make sure it's half inch and half inch here. Half inch and half inch here. So here you're having 7 inches plus 2 inches. 7 inches plus 2 inches making 9 inches. Here too you mark 9 inches. So connect the two lines together. The length of the suit is 28 inches. So we start the length from this 1 inch line. So 28 divided by 2 will give us 14. So you mark the half length. Right, for your vent, if it's a single vent or you call it one vent, you have it at this part. But if it's a double vent, you have it at this part. So you draw out the shape here. But I'm doing for single vent here. So you use 9 inches from this line, 9 inches. Give our suit back. This is the suit back. So let's give it a shape. So to give it a shape at this part, you mark half inches here, half inch, sorry. While at this part, you mark 1 inch, and here you mark 1 inch. Depending on how you want the shape to be, you can reduce this one to 3/4 and this to 3/4. So what you use here is what you use here. Most of the time, like 2¼ or 2½, before you get to this neckline, that is where you connect it. 2¼ that is where you connect your line with this one. For this other side, just mark half inch. But note, if the client stomach is the same with your chest, with the chest, so you don't need to give it shape at this part. So this is the back of your suit, of our suit. So this is where you sew. When you are sewing the suit, you sew it from this part, you sew these lines, you sew it and you extend it maybe half inch and you connect it down. So let's calculate for what we get in the back here. And when you are sewing here as well, you sew half inch at this part. You sew it half inch at this part. And you move it, you stop here. So you start from the down, you stop here. So let's calculate what you're having here. So at the back, you're having 14. You're having 14. 7 is 7 inches. So 7 times 7 is 14.
Plus
7 plus 7. 14 inches. Here you are sewing this part. So what you have here is 6 plus a bar. So you're having 12. So you are done with the back. So you want to cut out the front. So before you cut out the front, make sure you leave an allowance of maybe 1 inch or 1.5. But if you want it to be a double breasted, in which it will overlap like 2.5 inch or 3 inches, so you have to leave up to 3 or 3.5. So but for this one, it's just a normal suit with a notch lapel. So we leave just 2 inches. You leave just 2 inches. So mark 2 inches from this line. So I always say we have like 3 types of lapel. We differentiate suit by 3 types of lapel. So you can differentiate your suits. So we have a lapel that we have a notch lapel, we have the peak, and we have a straw lapel. So so the same length we use here, which is the back of our suit, which is 15 inches divided by 2, it will give us 7.5. So 7.5 plus quarter will give us 7.75. So that is the same measurement you are going to apply here. 7.75, you mark it 7.75. You mark it down to the length of your suit, 7.75. So you connect the lines together. So what we use here is 2.5 for the neck. So the same measurement you are going to use here, 2.5 inches. So you use the same measurement, 2.5 inches. But you know we use 2.5 inches. So what you do is just read a straight line down up here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here you mark 2.5 and quarter, 2.5 and quarter, which is 3.75. And here you mark 3.5 and quarter. So you just connect it. So this is the shoulder line. So you connect it to this. So you know we use 7 inches here. So at this part we use 9 inches. So you just add 2 inches to what you used before. So you use 9 inches here. So you mark it 9 inches. And use our cove to rule it out. So when you rule it out, make sure you can confirm it. Make sure 1.5 inches here and here. should be up to 1.5. So your armhole curve, make sure you can measure 1.5 inch at this part, measure 1.5 also at this part. So you can use free hand, you can use your curve to rule it out. So it depends on what you want to use. So you mark half inch here. You mark half inch here. So when you mark half inch, you just rule a straight line. So that is where we extend the side front. So the side front will be at this part. This is the main front. So let's get the shape of this of our front. So you know the half length of our back is 14 inches. So the half length of the front will exceed the back just by 2 inches. So the half length of the front will be 16 inches. So you see the back half length by 2 inches. So it will be 16 inches. So you mark it. So let's do the shape of our lapel. So I will show you how the lapel will look like. Just to show you how the lapel will look like. So if you want it straight, you can rule it straight with a ruler and rule it straight. You can rule it straight. But if you want it curved, you can curve it any shape you want. Any shape you want your lapel to look like, you can give it. And if you want it straight, you can rule a straight line. So you can apply this. I used to apply this for the shape of the lapel.
Yeah.
So this is the shape of the lapel. You can use your free hand to draw it out. So depending on the shape of the lapel you want to cut. So at this part, let's give the down part shape as well. So you measure 2.5 inches here and 2.5 inches here. So you connect these two lines together. Connect them together. And connect this one together with it. You connect this one together with it. So you rule just a straight line. That's okay. So let's give a suit shape here. So at the half length, it's at the half length that you give your suit shape. So you mark half inch at this part, and half inch at this part as well. So half inch at the two sides. So use your ruler to connect the lines. So you connect the lines together. calculate for the measurements. So the chest is 35 inches, while the so we have 14 inches here. So let's calculate what we have at this part as well. So here we have in 7 1/4, which is 14 1/2. So 14 plus 14 1/2 will give us 28 1/2. So you're having 28 1/2. So it remains so 14 plus 14 1/2 inches will give us 28 1/2. 28 1/2. So let's subtract 28 1/2 from 35. So what we will get is 6 1/2, 6.5. So that is what we extend here. So 6.5, your 6 1/2 divided by 2 will give us that. So you mark it. So you add 1 inches to it. What you mean is 6 1/2. So 6 1/2 divided by 2 is 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 plus 1 inches. So it will give us 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, that is what you mark. That 1 inches is just an allowance. So here this is how to extend this. So just curve it. But make sure it's straight to 1 1/2. Make sure it's straight to 1 1/2 or 1 1/2 Make sure it's straight to that point before you start to curve it. So you just curve it out. You can use a curve to curve the shape out, but make sure it's straight to 1 1/2. So make sure it's straight before you start to curve it out. But once, make sure you extend it as well to more than up to 3 1/2. Make sure you extend it up to 3 1/2. So you connect it with this one. Connect it with this. So for the round waist, so the round waist is 32. So what we get here is 12 1/4. While at this part, so you're having 6 3/4, which is 1/2, 13 1/2. So 13 1/2 plus 12 1/4. So 12 plus 13 is 25. Let's say 20. So minus. So you're having 6 1/4. So you're having 6 1/4 there. So 6 1/4 divided by 2. So you have 3 1/2. So plus 1, you have 4 1/2. So you just connect the lines together. So what we get here is 4 1/4. So you just add, so you add quarter to it, so you add half inch to it. So you have 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 is what you have here. 4 3/4. Connect these lines together. So what remains is the dart. So the dart will stop at 2 inches before this our armhole. To stop 2 inches before it. So you divide we have 7¾ just divide it by 2, so you have 3 and 3. So what we just do is just measure 3½ here, 3½, mark 3½ for this part. So what I do is I make sure here is bigger and here is a bit smaller, maybe ½ inch difference. So what you do is so from this part you may mark 2½ inches. So it's from these 2½ inches that you connect your dart. So this is where our pocket should be. So to extend to this part as well.
So let's cut it out.
So make sure you don't cut this part. So you extend it. This is where you are sewing. So you extend it. Just cut this way. So you can confirm the armhole of your suit before you cut the sleeve out. So you can leave half inch here for the sewing allowance. So let's calculate. Make sure it's equal, it's the same with this, so that's what you use. So the armhole is 21 inches.